spent years lying next to her son at night, listening to his labored breaths, fearing that they might sometimes stop. As a single mother of an asthmatic son in Memphis, Tennessee, Ilyasha struggled to make ends meet so that her son could get the treatments that he needed. Medications, allergy shots, a nebulizer that pumped vaporized medicine into his lungs. But none of these treatments worked for her son. And the reason may be that they were tailored to people of a different race. See, Ilyasha and her son were African American, but the majority of studies conducted about asthma, and indeed of most other health conditions, involve patients of European descent. Case in point, a recent article co-authored by Professors Carlos Bustamante and Francisco de la Vega found that 96% of subjects in genome-wide association studies are people of European descent. I read about Ilyasha and her son in an article in the Atlantic this past summer, and their story underlies what I feel deeply about diversity and inclusion, and what I have felt deeply about diversity and inclusion over my career. I know that working through these issues together can be complicated, emotional, and deeply personal, but I consider it our duty to create more diverse and inclusive workspaces. That article also speaks directly to the work of our guest speaker today, longtime Stanford faculty member Dr. Hannah Valentine, who also is NIH's first Chief Officer for Scientific Workforce Diversity. In her role at the NIH, Dr. Valentine recruits more diverse researchers, leading to research that fully reflects the demographics of our society. One of the things that's so special about Dr. Valentine, and the reason I think she's the perfect person to speak to us about these issues, is that through her skills, experience, and her position, she has a compassionate view of the state of diversity and inclusion in medicine, both across the nation and right here at Stanford. As a friend and advisor of mine, I also trust that she will give us her candid perspective on where we are today as a community and how we can continue to move forward. With an extraordinary background as a physician scientist, Dr. Valentine has the intellect as well as the heart to bring transformative approaches to diversity in medicine. She's a senior investigator in the intramural program at the National Heart 111 Institute, and when she was full-time here at Stanford, she was senior associate dean for diversity and leadership in the School of Medicine for nearly a decade. She currently maintains an active clinical research program, building on her findings that monitoring the level of donor DNA in a recipient's blood can detect early stages of organ rejection. She and I share the same attitude about diversity and inclusion. For both of us, diversity and inclusion are the only ways that we as medical professionals can make good on our commitments and Hippocratic Oath to provide comprehensive care for all people. Maintaining a laser focus on diversity and inclusion makes our society more socially just. As physicians responsible for the physical and psychological healing of the world's communities, we must commit ourselves to improving the broader social, economic, and environmental conditions that can be so severe burdens for patients from all walks of life. Moreover, a lack of diversity and inclusion impacts the clarity and accuracy of our data, as Dr. Valentine has shown in so many of her pivotal studies. For instance, if we don't gather a diverse set of data for ethnicities and lifestyles around the world, we can't recommend personalized, proactive, and preventive treatments. Without diversity, we can't fulfill our promise to precision health. Ultimately, if we're narrow-minded and waver in our commitment to diversity and inclusion, patients like Ilyasha's son will be at greater risk, and they will continue to suffer. I'm so encouraged by people like Dr. Valentine, who recently received the NIH Director's Pathfinder Award for Diversity in the Scientific Workforce. In a paper that Dr. Valentine co-authored with NIH Director Francis Collins in 2015, she and Dr. Collins described diversity as a scientific opportunity rather than as an intractable problem. They called it a research challenge that can be approached with a scientific method and ultimately that can be resolved. For all those reasons and so many more that you'll hear today, please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Hannah Valentine. Welcome. Pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for that wonderful introduction, Lloyd. In fact, you covered my whole talk, and I'm not sure that I have much more to say, but I'll try at any rate. I must say it's such a pleasure to be back. It feels like coming home to friends. In fact, I see people with whom I worked in the very early days when I first came to Stanford in the early 80s, still here and still doing this wonderful work, and so I'm delighted. I'm also delighted to be joining my family here as well. So this is a really, really special occasion, Lloyd, and thank you very much for the invitation, which I really, really appreciate. I'm going to be speaking with you about our approach to addressing scientific workforce diversity through the lens of science. And what I'll be talking about is that the time is now right for us to be injecting the same rigor as we do to the rest of our scientific work into this complex area of workforce diversity. I'll start off by making the point why diversity is important. You've heard already some very important reasons from Dean Miner. And then I'll talk a little bit about the four cross-cutting challenges that Francis Collins and myself identified that we fully believe that if we were successful, we would really be reaching really high levels of diversity and inclusion in our scientific workforce. And then I'll talk a little bit about building the evidence and what we can look forward to and how we can sustain this workforce diversity so as to reap the wonderful opportunities that are embedded when we have diversity and inclusion. But before I start, let me just say a little bit about myself. I was born in the Gambia, West Africa, a little country which had a population of about 1 million. It was half a million when I left there with my family in 1964, age 13, to go to London. And of course, when I got to London, it was in the 60s, the height of racial tension. And what my parents had not prepared me for was the idea that somebody might think less of me, because after all, I had grown up as a part of a majority group. So as you can imagine, entering high school had its challenges. And I would contend that I did struggle somewhat in those early days as a high schooler. And in part, I would say it was trying to bridge this cultural gap. But of course, the reality was that also the excitement of living in the swinging 60s in London. And so I would say that it was a combination of reasons rather than regarded as a must-do as a cardiologist at that time, and unfortunately, 2 years actually turned into 30. And then I was minding my own business when I got the call inviting me to lead the NIH Diversity Efforts as the first chief officer of scientific workforce diversity. And this was in the wake of the Gimper Report, which was published in 2011, demonstrating that African Americans applying for R01 grants are significantly less likely than any other group to receive that award. And the advisory committee to the director made 13 recommendations, one of which was to establish this office that would be responsible for coordination of NIH and diversity efforts. But they also recommended that this person should have a dual role and should have an active role as a scientist, physician scientists themselves. And it was clear that this would be something very exciting for me, and that is why, as Dean Minor mentioned, I run a laboratory there. And although this is not the purpose of this talk, I just thought I'd first give you some glimpses of the kinds of things we're doing. I have set up a collaboration here with Steve Quake, who many of you know, and it was a most fruitful collaboration where we're now using genomic tools to monitor patients after organ transplantation based on the fact that the DNA that comes out of the transplanted graft is uniquely different from that of the recipient, and we can do simple blood tests to get the percentage of the donor-derived DNA as the organ begins to be injured and very early on. And so at NIH, what I've done is I've set up a consortium of 5 centers, Hopkins, Maryland, VCU, Iowa Fairfax, and Washington Hospital, who are all recruiting patients and establishing the biobank. We've transferred the technology, and it's working very well in collaboration with my colleague here, Karen Kush, who's at the Trump and we've been very successful in doing that. But we're taking the work further. We're looking at different DNA methylation patterns that will help us understand what organ the source of that DNA is coming from. We're also looking at mitochondrial DNA because of its unique method of transmission being translated through females through the cycle. And we've already recruited and enrolled many patients, over 100. We've collected over 6,000 biospecimens, and I thought I was never going to have to write a grant any longer. But yes, in the last 3 years, I wrote the O1 application with my colleagues at